Welcome back, everyone. So we've got the Final Fantasy 15 series boss battle on Global now against Ardyn. This is a little bit easier than most series boss battles, so I'll be showing the team that we can do it. We're going to be doing it with a budget team. We're only using 4-star and below Trust Masteries or free equipment gear. Except the unit's own Trust Mastery. So Charlotte is going to be Evasion. She's just using all this, evasion gear. Other than that, she's got Spirit and hit points on. Resistances don't matter, but Paralyzed, you need someone to cure Paralyzed for the ambush. For us, that'll be Fina. She's just geared for some Spirit and some defense and hit points to survive the random attacks. We're going to use Nicole for mitigations on turn 1, and he's got Pod for some physical mitigation for later in the fight. Other than that, he's just got some mana regen. Again, this is all just really cheap, easily obtained gear. We're not using like Super Trust Masteries or anything. Kryla's going to be our breaker. That's all she's going to do. There's nothing else for her to do but break every single turn. I gave her some mana regen because I'm not using my usual setup with, Transterra's ring. We're going to be using Bartz. He's a good DPS because he powers up and then just goes for the rest of the fight. He's really good. We gave him 300% Human Killer, a wind weapon to save himself from having to imbue. And we're taking a friend Bartz. Today we're grabbing Elmsmore. The friend, of course, is well geared. He's got wind weapon, Human Killer, high attack, high defense, etc. So let's get into it. So you've seen me do this fight on the JP server, possibly. If you haven't, that's fine. This is pretty easy. He's going to ambush us with an AoE Paralyze. So we're going to use our Lotus Mage Fina to deal with that, because she's immune to Paralyze and she can cure it from the rest of the team. There's no damage in the ambush, it's just a Paralyze. Alright. So I paralyze Bartz and Charlotte. So we're going to go ahead and dual cast any Suniga to cure that Paralyze. And we'll do a re-raise on Charlotte just in case she dies on turn 1. She probably won't, but you never know. The boss does hit kind of hard on turn 1. So we're going to magic cover. Kryla's going to break. Bartz will start powering up. The usual. 3 turns of power up. And then Nicole is going to do his latent mitigation. And he's going to do a stat buff for the team. For a nice defense buff. So there's going to be an AoE magic attack here. That's going to hit pretty hard. We don't have magic mitigation yet. But it's not too bad. And some random target attacks. They hit pretty hard actually. But we're not full buff yet. We don't have mitigation. So that was the most dangerous turn of the entire fight. For the rest of the fight, we're going to be fine. Alright, so we're going to power up to level 3 now. Charlotte will magic mitigate. And this is going to lower the damage taken significantly. Now we're going to physical mitigate with Nicole. Kryla will do her good break. And let's see, just Dark Covenant, just make it nice and easy on myself. Let's see, Fina, because that was a big damage turn, I'm going to use, actually no, Fina is going to, let's see, we're going to Eternal Light for the AoE re-raise, and we're going to Shining Cheer. Yeah, I like that better. Alright, so same thing. The boss is going to do the exact same thing every single turn until 50% health. As you see, the damage taken has dropped significantly. We have all the mitigations up at this point. So now healing and all becomes much easier. Alright, Bartz will go ahead and power to the final level. And start DPSing next turn. Kryla is just going to guard here. I'm going to save a little bit of mana on her. Charlotte will, let's see, Healing Glory. Nicole will do... let's see, mana regen twice. And Fina will do Shining Cheer, and let's do a Divine Veil. Alright, so this turn the boss is going to go immune to damage for a turn. We can't hurt him. Well, actually, it's like really high mitigation. We can technically hurt him. Alright, so let's use Charlotte's Luma first. Bart's will now, let's see, use his final power-up and Imperil. Let's see, final power-up and Imperil. We can't really hurt the boss, but it's fine. Alright, Kryla will Debilitating and Covenant. We will Physical Mitigate. And Fina will, let's see, Heal. And Re-Raise. Now once we get the boss to 50% health, this fight gets a little bit easier. A lot easier, actually. Because that attack that's hitting Charlotte for like half her life won't be used anymore. Okay. Now it's time to DPS. Let's go ahead and dual Spellblade to unlock Bart's good burst. Alright, next turn we'll be doing a lot more damage. Let's Knight's Command. Nicole, there's not a whole lot for you to do on these off turns. You were really just here for mitigation on the first turn. Do that. And we will Manatopia and Shining Chair. Now Charlotte might die here because I decided to not use a big heal, but I think it'll be probably fine. Yeah, she's fine. Alright, let's do our big burst with Bart's now. And remember, I'm using free gear on my team, so the damage is less than it would be if I was going like all out with SPRs and stuff. But, there we go. Alright, now we're going into phase 2. Charlotte, let's go ahead and do that. The boss is just going to buff himself an end turn. Let's Shining Cheer and Manatopia. He's not going to attack this turn. Let's see, we'll break and refresh, and we'll do P-Shield. So he's going to buff himself, and we need to dispel that buff. That's really important you dispel the buff on this threshold, otherwise you'll probably wipe. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, Dark Aura. That's the buff you need to remove. It's 10 turns of a 100% buff, and that's got to be removed for obvious reasons. So we'll dispel the boss, and we'll just curate you. We dispel, so we need to break again, obviously. Break again, and Dark Covenant. Bart's will start chaining. So now the boss is going to do the same AoE attacks he's been using, and he's going to do an AoE hybrid attack that evasion will prevent. And Charlotte is evading. The boss will lock hit points at 50%. So we'll go ahead and Knight's Command. Nicole, you literally are just here for P-Shield pretty much, so just P-Shield every turn, what you do. Alright, here's Royal Retribution. It's going to be evaded by Charlotte. Deal 0 damage. It does hit pretty hard if you're not evading. I mean, you can tank it just straight up. It just hits really hard. But it's doable. Alright, I think my cooldown, yeah, one more turn. So we'll go ahead and burst. Or chain, I mean, not burst. Alright, so we'll push the last threshold next turn. Fina will do... Let's do a Manatopia and a Shiny Cheer. Kryla will repeat. Yeah, Nicole, just P-Shield again. Charlotte will just mitigate. Yeah, this fight's kind of whatever, pretty much. Very, 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 very easy. if you have the tools for it. I mean, you know, maybe you can't build like an evasion magic tank or something a little bit harder. Maybe you don't have Bard, so you've got like no DPS from the past 5 months. I guess it'd be a little bit harder. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and dual Spell Blade. The boss is going to lock hit points at 50%. Or, I'm sorry, 10%. Yeah, lock hit points. Reload Kryla. Charlotte will Knight's Command. Athena will just reload, and Nicole will just P-Shield. Alright, so the boss is going to heal here and give himself an attack buff that can't be removed. He's going to start hitting a little bit harder with those random attacks. Not really. They're actually pretty weak. Yeah, as you can see, they're pretty weak. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and Brave Blade and finish this dude off on turn 10. So all missions, we'll get some Limit Burst ready. Alright, let's do that. And being a Limit Burst for kill, Gingerbread Storm. Alright, 10 turns with a totally budget team. Like I said, this team used no super TMRs, and we used no 5-star TMRs at all, except for the unit's own personal TMR. I probably won't do many re-clears of this because this fight's just a little bit boring, and we've got a Mog event to farm. But there we go. All missions on Ardyn the Great, or whatever. I didn't play Final Fantasy 15, so I don't know much about Ardyn. There we go. All missions. See you guys next time.